Welcome back. Not a nice day for Bitcoin today then, guys, and you can see this big massive bearish candle's pushed us straight out of this upwards rising wedge. We did say before that this upwards rising wedge was a bearish pattern if it's following bearish price action to the downside, which we did have since November last year. So been trading in this range all year now, and we just broke out of this range for the first time, and will we manage to close out of it for the first time is the question we need to ask. We haven't got many hours left in the day, and the bears are certainly winning the fight at the moment. So how far is price action likely to go if we manage to not get back into the wedge? Next level of support down here, you've got a minor level of support at 34, and then you've got a major level of support down here at 32, and then we have the previous lows back in May, June, July last year of 29,000. So those are the next levels of support that we'll be looking at, but I mean, let's just deal with this one now in the shorter term. So that's on the daily, and if we go into the smaller time frame, we can see how price is reacting to this negative news, and we can see that we've come out of the range of support here that I said yesterday that we needed to hold, and we are probably likely to come back. We've certainly retested it once here with this indecision candle, but it doesn't mean price action is going to stop here. So if the bulls could come back and we get a couple of positive candles, we're likely to retest this area here, and it's what happens at this area here that's going to matter. Do we get a little bit of volume indicated by a big volume spike like we've got to the downside here? Certainly the bears that are winning momentum at the moment, or are we going to get a big capitulation that's going to come down here, and the buyers are going to, the bulls are going to put in lots of buy orders, the buy orders are going to get eaten up and push price action back up to test these levels up here. We're just going to have to wait and see at the moment, because we're pretty much in the middle of it. So as observers we can just look in the lower time frames and find out what's likely to happen, but it's a bit of indecision at the moment with Bitcoin, and the areas that the area that we need to close above now to get back into this wedge, the bottom of the wedge is trading at the moment at 37,785, and this is Bitcoin against USDT on the Binance chart. So 4 hour, and we see the daily, that's the major one. We want to close that inside of here, and it's not looking likely whatsoever. So bearish on Bitcoin at the moment. We'll have a quick look at Ethereum, and we see that we said that we were trading in this wedge here on Ethereum, and we got yesterday the wedge was drawn like this, and we got the big candle close, bit of momentum, buying pressure yesterday, and that was just pretty much what they call a fake out. So we've come straight back down and lost all the gains and then some from yesterday. We're currently sat at support though at the support sitting at 26.82 and 27.24. So we are holding that level at the moment. We just see whether we can keep holding that at that level. So indecision again on Ethereum, and we'll probably find out within the next couple of days, to be honest with you. By the weekend we'll be a little bit more likely to find out what the shorter term direction of the market is. We've got walk away, selling may walk away to contend with, so there's a possibility that the institutional investors and the traders are going to go on holiday and let us deal with the mess, but we'll just have to wait and see. We don't know what the market's going to do at the end of the day. It'll do whatever it wants. Have a look at AVAX, and you see that we've come down, equal measure move from AVAX. We've come back and we've retested these previous lows here, and we've had a negative reaction from that, obviously by it's being pulled down by Bitcoin. So we've had the negative candle on AVAX, and we're looking like getting a lower low, lower close candle on AVAX, signaling more downside. And next level of support, if we do get a break and close below the levels of 54 on AVAX, is sitting at $44. That's top of the range, $44. Major support sat at $38, and that's AVAX. Some cheap prices to have. And if you look at AVAX on the all-time high, it was trading at $146, so cheap at the moment. Not to say it's not going to go cheaper, because it probably will, looking at this bearish candle here. So you're just going to see how the market reacts. If you get positive news from Bitcoin, then you get a bit of a rally from Bitcoin, then the altcoins tend to follow afterwards once they get a bit of direction and a bit of decision in the market. There's not just going to be a fake out. They could start getting a little bit of liquidity in the market and let the altcoins run a little bit. So we'll have a quick look at FTM next. And these charts are similar to AVAX. This one, you got equal measure move, and we had the big bullish candle that pushed us past these previous highs. So we've managed to do that, and we've tested this zone of interest here at the lower levels and got the negative reaction from that, and we're likely to test these lows again here at levels of 67 cents on Phantom. So 67 cents from $3.50 it was trading at previously, earlier on at the back end of last year. And next level of support on Phantom is 43 cents. A couple more now. It's going to be a quick one. So we've got Solana doing exactly the same thing. We've got the big move down, and we've got the sideways range. We mentioned previously that this is going to create a level of either support or resistance in the future by this sideways price action when you're ranging, and then you likely either come up to the upside and then that'll act as major support, or you're going to go to the downside and it'll act as major resistance going forward. So next levels, if we manage to break and close below the $81 level on Solana, next level of support is going to be $75. So we'll have a quick look at Cardano, because I know Cardano had a little bit more of a rally earlier on. Let's have a quick look on the lower time frames, because I've seen it was up in the market at one point. Oh yeah, so yeah, we said we're likely to come back up, test this zone of resistance up here. We've touched the top of the zone of resistance. We come back down, and we need to come back, and we need to get a bit of momentum at these levels here, a big volume candle, and then we can come back and test. But the problem with Cardano is there's a lot of levels of resistance to come through, and you see all the trading area and the trading range that happen between these levels here. That's just going to act as major confluence of levels of resistance going forward for it to get through. So there's a lot of resistance, and there's a lot of upsides that we need to manage to get through in the market, but there's not too much positivity at the moment. We need to get a bit of good news and see where we go. So I'll have one last one. We'll have a quick look at Algorand actually, and we see that we mentioned that this was the one that we had quite a lot of price data on. So if we go on the 3-day chart, we can see that these levels go back to August 2019. We were trading at these levels, and we held that. It become resistance, flip support again, back down, and will it flip resistance? That's what we need to find out. So we're currently testing it as resistance, and if we get a negative reaction, a lower close candle, we'll be coming back and testing lower levels round about here, which are like 45 cents. Yeah, between the 50 cents and 46 cents are the next levels of support and resistance major. So possibly can come down on that one if we don't manage to close above this level here. So we'll have to wait and find out with that. So it was just definitely, it was a quick update. We know that Bitcoin's bleeding in the market. We're not getting much strength from the bulls, and this was the 3-day on Bitcoin now. Not getting much strength from the bulls. We'll have to wait and see where we end up with the close, and tomorrow's possibly going to be a green day where we come back and retest this, and if we just get a 50% candle or less than a 50% candle coming back up, it means it's not much bullish action, and we're likely to come back and test the lower levels. So we'll have to see what happens tomorrow really on this one, but it's a bit of a cautious time in the market, and it's good to be risk off on certain things. And if you're in any high risk tokens, or if you're in anything that you've held for such a long time and you worry on whether you should get out of it or whether it's not going to survive the next couple of years, then you should apply good risk management and look at what happened to the ones in the previous cycle. Did they survive? What percentage of tokens that survived that were in the last bear market? So it's all right to come out of something to go into something else that's a little bit more secure. I'd prefer to be on the edge of caution rather than anything else, and and I'm in pretty much lesser risk assets, the ones that don't bleed as much, which is pretty much Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the dollar. So I've got a couple of positions in other little things, but more from a trading perspective. So I'm in the off risk assets at the moment. So I know that Bitcoin is not doing great at the moment, and Ethereum is not doing great at the moment. But when these do bleed, they don't bleed as much as what the rest of them do. So I do intend to buy the good layer ones, and I do intend to accumulate, but I just think that we're going to see some lower levels. I can see that we're going to come back and test these levels at some point again, which is back at the 28,000 level. And we've got so much bad news happening at the moment, and inflation's really pinching everyone's pockets. People can't afford to buy crypto. People can't afford to buy as much stuff as what they used to be able to. So it's going to have a knock-on effect, and if anything, take liquidity out of the market. And that's why you can't have the run that you had in 2021, unfortunately. But I don't mean to be a negative Nancy at the moment. We'll see where we end up by the end of the day, by the candle close, and if we do manage to do that, I would just say we're likely to come back and test these levels, and we'll see what kind of bullish buying action we get at these levels again. Because if there's no institutions to buy at these levels, if they've all gone away, if they're all gone on holiday, depending on I don't know whatever, then there's not going to be enough liquidity in the market for the bulls to be able to push the price action back up, and it'll just bleed and bleed and bleed. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thank you. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up. Appreciate you all. Thank you. Night.